Olito Chimachukma Chitik. Greetings and how are you? This is your sister Nura Sunlight, and I will be using the animated voice for clarity about the real United States holiday that the colonizers termed Thanksgiving. Yakoki, thank you for listening.
Listen up. And listen good, all indigenous aborigine of this land. And spread this true event to your loved ones, who are still under the spell and the lie of the so-called Thanksgiving holiday, or the colonizers' holy day. First, think on these, yet another, whitewashed, colonizer-washed, words of Thanksgiving by someone named Renee D., November 27, 2019 on their iconiclife.com website. Quote, "The first Thanksgiving story of the Pilgrims who landed in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and the nearby Wampanoag people with whom they formed a friendship, is the iconic inspiration for today's Thanksgiving feast." End quote. The lie repeats. Again. After the Battle of Mystic Fort, located today in Mystic, Connecticut, also called Mystic Massacre, also known as the Pequot Massacre of Aboriginal Indigenous people of this land, now called North America, in 1637, a foreign European colonizer by the name of John Winthrop, the governor of the foreign Massachusetts Bay Colony, declared and made Thanksgiving an official holiday for his murdering English colonizers, and himself. The Pequot War was an armed conflict that took place between 1636 and 1638 at New England Colony between the indigenous Pequot tribe, and alliances of the foreign English, British, and Scottish colonizers from the Massachusetts Bay, Plymouth, and Saybrook colonies, and their allies from the sellout, and U.S. federally recognized Algonquian, Narragansett, and Mohegan tribes. The slaughter left over 700 wiped-out Pequots murdered and hundreds taken as prisoners and sold into slavery to colonists in British Bermuda and other southernmost regions of North America that the colonizers renamed as the West Indies. The result was the annihilation of the Pequot tribe, deemed a viable civilization mission at the southern New England colony, where the foreign colonial authorities classified the Aboriginal indigenous Pequots extinct. Look. Remember this as you sit down and gorge yourself with turkey flesh, sweet potatoes, greens, corn, and cranberry sauce. Those same foreigners have convinced you, by sugarcoating the genocide, for you to repeatedly, for 385 years to this day, to celebrate the outright slaughter, murder, genocide, whatever you want to call it, of your own mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunt, cousin, relative ancestors, so that the foreign murders of your own people can remain in occupation of your land, and dominate your own people. Just like, the same European foreigners have convinced you to abandon the natural law of self-preservation for a fable of salvation by this fictional Christian being, called Jesus. See Galatians chapter 4, verses 22 through 24, Thanksgiving is no longer called that. It is called the Indigenous Day of Mourning by our Spirit Traveler clan, and the National Day of Mourning by others. Not Thanksgiving. In reading one of the real plaques erected by the people of the town of Plymouth, the words, Aboriginal Indigenous of this land, will replace the words Native American. National Day of Mourning. Since 1970, Native Americans have gathered at noon on Coles Hill in Plymouth to commemorate a national day or mourning on the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. Many Aboriginal Indigenous of this land do not celebrate the arrival of the Pilgrims and other European settlers. To them, Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of their people, the theft of their lands, and the relentless assault on their cultures. Participants in National Day of Mourning honor Aboriginal Indigenous of this land ancestors and the struggles of Aboriginal Indigenous of this land to survive today. It is a day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Aboriginal Indigenous of this land continue to experience. Wise up. Stop it. You are celebrating the murder of your own people, by the same people that convinced all Indigenous people to love our enemies. Them. Why on Mother Earth should I be thankful for invaders getting away with murder of my own people? Think about it. Then stop it.
Te Chu Hula Antimaka. I love you, Mother Earth.